The last dance, ladies and gentlemen, of the 2022 season here in Jarama. Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Yes, we do see the green light of the pit lane. There was a bit oil spilling on the track, but we could compete completely. So, welcome to this final episode of this season. We're really looking forward to get to... Sorry, I've got some interference here on my earpods, so I'm just taking that out. And we started in Misano in May. We went over Hungaroring, Slovakia, saw the big firework at the Nürburgring, and we said, ihr seid wieder da, you are all back. And we traveled to Most and Zolder, and here we are at the circuit in Jarama. Good to be back here for the final and last race of the weekend. We're standing here directly at the pit exit, and you can see the Promoters Cup champion Theo Calvé passing by, followed by Antonio Alberthetti. He's competing on home ground. He had 2 podiums this weekend and really looking forward to the final race. And he said to me, yes, maybe after the race, I'm going on some donuts. So lots of action to take. And of course, we do have a special look on the Vice Championship, since Norbert Kisch already is the champion of this season after the race weekend in Le Mans. But who will it be after Norbert Kisch on the second place? Will it be Jochen Hahn ahead of Sascha Lenz, 4 points? What if they tie? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you might know. Then we'll have a look at the standings and, for example, the podium places. First place equal, second place equal. But on the third place, Jochen Hahn had 7, Sascha Lenz 6. So we're going to do lots of math right now in this race. Thanks to our commentators, Joachim Eberts and Chaz Dreikert. I know you're really looking forward for this final race, and hopefully we do not see this race flag, the red flag again. I'm not waving it too much because they might misinterpret it. So we might have a look at the race highlights, number 3, to get into the mood for this final race this weekend.
Yes, indeed. Let's not go waving red flags at these. They would certainly be very eager to get stopped and make sure everything was safe. But still, we had a fantastically exciting first race of the day earlier on, and a lot of contact down at turn 1. Antonio Alberthetti and Adam Lachko, the initial contact makers, and then Jochen Hahn climbing all over Sascha Lenz's number 2 MAN in the thick of all of it. There was more contact further down as well between Jose Rodriguez and Shane Burton. Andre Kursim just managing to get through as well, and then the race was very quickly halted. We had quite the extensive red flag period, but an amazing recovery effort by all of those involved, and we thank all of our marshals and officials for getting us back underway in such great fashion. The field then spread out and kept it nice and tidy on the second attempt. There was a bit of contact between Theo Calvé and Steffi Halm in the early stages, and a bit of a moment where Theo potentially could have dropped down way out of contention, but he managed to make sure that his Bagheera ZM Racing Freightliner was able to make it to the final flag. Jamie Anderson was at the front in the Promoters Cup, doing everything he could to score maximum points from the race, while Norbert Kisch extended his gap at the very front end of the field. A number of drivers were in the walls in the middle, trying to just avoid further contact after the initial little argy-bargy, but it was eventually Norbert Kisch that took another race victory, while we had Sascha Lenz doing everything he could to take some points away from Jochen Hahn, even after the incident. Jochen not finishing that race, and they'll be starting this one from the back of the field, while Sascha starts right in the thick of it. We're going to be doing a lot of maths throughout the whole race, which is to be a final exciting finish.
Absolutely. What 8 race weekends this was. It was so much fun until right now. We are here at the grid right now. This is as close as you can get to the giants of the road. We're so glad that we can speak to everyone directly, and soon the trucks are going to line up, and of course we will have a look at Sascha Lenz and Jochen Hahn. You've seen the spectacular scenes after race number 2, and what a coincidence that they just got towed up, like Sascha Lenz ahead of Jochen Hahn in this corner over there. And I spoke to some fans, and as you may have seen, there was one fan, she was there the first time seeing such a race event. And yes, very spectacular indeed. But of course, we want to see a clean race right now due to our high safety standards. Of course, nobody got harmed, and this is very, very good news. So we're really looking forward to this final countdown, this final episode of this year's season coming all to an end here at Jarama. Chess and Ebi.
Yes, indeed. It all finally comes to an end here. And to be honest with you, the second half of the season goes so fast in this championship. 4 race meetings within 5 weeks. We started at Most, and then we went straight to Zolder 1 week after. Then we had a week off and went to Le Mans, which was a lot of fun last weekend. And then we come straight here to Jarama in Spain. And honestly, it doesn't feel even like 10 minutes since I was back at home in my studio in my house, commentating on the races at Most. And we were having a lot of fun there with some great battles out on the circuit. You see now then the grid very full. A lot of people making their way over just to check everything's all ticking over nicely. We've got fans and spectators there as well that have all the VIP access to go and see these trucks on the grid. It's always good fun doing a grid walk, no matter what championship it may be. I urge you to try and get on a grid somewhere, wherever you may, around the world, in whatever racing category that might be. One final hurrah then from me for this season. It's been another absolutely wonderful championship and a great year to commentate on it. I'm sure my wonderful German colleague Joachim Ebi, as he's known, has been enjoying himself as well. There's certainly been a fantastic vibe around the paddock. Everybody is so kind and so friendly in this paddock as well. I really do feel like it's like a home away from home when I'm away with these guys in this wonderful series. And hopefully it may continue for much longer. You can see the young man in the blue there on the left-hand side of the grid is Andrea. We were out for a few drinks in Madrid last night, and he is a wonderful human being. He's so exciting. Always a really good laugh. We had so much fun. And before this weekend, we hadn't really had much chance to sort of socialise together within the paddock or even between any of the races. And it was great fun. Another character I've had the pleasure of meeting properly this weekend is Steffi Halm, and she's going to be having a chat with Christina.
Absolutely. She's looking forward to the final race. Steffi, ein kurzes Wort vielleicht von dir. Up to the final race it is. Very exciting to be... the season comes to an end right now, and you said you've been competitive. Judith Ehrmann, of course, your teammate. It's the final race with you together. How are you going into it?
Yeah, I think we have a good position. We start from the second row. I hope that we can stay on the third place. Would be great for the end of the season. But for sure, the first ones are in the back, and you never know. You saw it in the first race, what will happen. It can happen so much, and I hope that we don't have any crashes in the first lap, and then just go for the race, and hopefully we can stay on 7th position overall. So my focus is on Theo, but for sure I know that there are 2 other guys like Sasha and Jochen who will fight for the 2nd place in the overall, and for that, for sure, we have to also keep an eye on it.
Absolutely. Would you help Jochen since you teamed up with him for the team championship?
There's not much I can do. I will do my race. Jochen is in the back, and as I told both before, I think it was before Le Mans, and they fight for the places, and I just try to stay out of that fight so that they fight and the best one will win, and this is my plan.
Thank you very much, Steffi Halm. May the best win.
Yes, indeed, and that's really respectful of Steffi to sort of stay out of that fight. And, there are drivers that would love to really get amongst that as well and help their teammates out. But as she said, there's not really much she can do, so she's not going to get in their way. Here is the look at this circuit, the wonderful layout here at Jarama, a very windy and twisty circuit, especially that first sector as you go out of Fangio down towards Varzi, the long sweeping right-hander, then Le Mans and Farina, the 2 hairpins that go back to back. And they are really banked hairpins as well, actually. They're very steep as they sort of turn inwards, and they give the drivers this big sense of massive grip, but then very quickly that goes away again when they come out of there and then go over the top of the crest and then down towards Ascari. It's certainly a scary place to be in a truck, that's for sure. They really do fly down there. And then, of course, into the hairpin down at Portago. Now, I'm wondering, I'm going to try and see if I can see Stefan Faas on the grid. But before that, we're actually going to speak to Sasha Lenz, who's in the fight for 2nd place in the championship now.
Absolutely. It's drama in Jarama. It's the last race. And of course, you're competing for the vice championship. How do you see your chances?
we need a good start, we need a good race, and then after the race we see if it's enough or it's not enough. For us, we have a really good season, we are really happy, and yeah, that's what I can say.
What is that for a dinosaur there?
This one is for my daughter. She was in a supermarket Thursday, and she bring me and say, Papa, with this one we have more lucky with the other one. And yeah, now I hope he bring me lucky.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Sascha Lenz. And dinosaurs are really good mascots, I can say that, from Hamburger SV Germany.
I did wonder if you were going to make that link as well. It's probably one of the only things I really know about football, to be honest, Christina. But yes, to be honest with you, it's always lovely to hear stories like that as well. You know, family and mementos and these little sort of mascots for drivers. You know, drivers can be very superstitious in motorsport. I've learned it even in just my few years of commentating so far. And you speak to them behind the scenes and you find certain things out and their sort of approach to certain races and sessions and so on, how they're feeling and what might affect that. It's quite crazy how superstitious they can be. Now, if Stefan Fast does make it to the grid, he will be starting this race from the very back. So Jochen Hahn does get the advantage of not being 15th, but he will be 14th on the 7th row of the grid alongside Heinrich Clemens Hecker. And there's a number of drivers that are going to be pretty intensely involved in a lot of these battles, I think. A lot of them will maybe not roll over and let drivers go through. Jochen Hahn might hope that they do, though. Let's see what he thinks. He's going to speak to Christina.
Yes. Jochen Hahn, how many scenarios do you got in your mind?
What?
Scenarios. Wie viele Szenarien hast du dir ausgerechnet?
0. No, I have no scenario. You know, we make racing and we play not football. So from this side, everything is possible.
He's referring to football right now. I don't know why this is. Maybe because of me. So, Jochen, it's been, race number 2. Of course, we talked afterwards. The team did a great job rebuilding the truck so fast. How close was it?
You know, I have a fantastic team and family behind me. So from this side, it's not a question about it's possible or not. The team do it, and I do it now, and everything is well.
We'll have a look. Thank you very much, Jochen Hahn. Of course, competing for the Vice Championship this season against Sascha Lenz. 4 points ahead, still.
Yes, indeed. And just to reiterate as well, if we do fall back on previous results, if they do tie on points, we basically have to count who has more first places, and then if that's tied, it's who has more second places, and so on. And that keeps going down until we get to, I believe it's 3rd place finishes we were confirming before. There was a big chat of all of us confirming that. Yes, Jochen has more 3rd places than Sascha, but he also has, apologies. Yeah, it's 3rd places. I was reading it as 2nd places before. So just to add to the confusion, I've confused myself. So I hope you all believe in what I'm saying. Either way, we'll do the maths as it goes on. We also need to do the maths on Steffi Halm versus this man here, the newly crowned Promoters Cup champion for 2022, Theo Calvé. Theo is only 3 points back from Steffi in the overall championship. And bear in mind that in this second race of the day, you get basically 1 extra point per position. So you get 10 points first, and then it's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a very simple system for these second races. Makes our mathematics a lot easier. So we're going to keep our eye on what the difference may be between the two of them. But with Theo starting only 1 position ahead of Steffi and on the other side of the grid, anything could happen between those two. It all depends on the trucks around them and how they affect the result. Andrei Kurzim starts on the front row for the 2nd day in succession. He won yesterday's second race. He's going to be hoping to do it again, because a few times when we've been here, we've had the same drivers win on both days. Back in 2018, it was Jochen Hahn, then René Reiner, then Jochen Hahn, then René Reiner. In 2021, it was Norbert Kish, then Andrei Kurzim, then Norbert Kish and Theo Calvé. Now, Calvé's starting on the front row, and so far this weekend, we've had the same results. Kish, Kurzim, Kish. We could have a repeat of 2021 winners here at Jarama, and that would be quite remarkable and a hell of a way for Theo Calvé to round out his season as well. That is for sure. But still, I come back to speculation once again. Our official truck, the Ford F-Max, gets going for one more time this year. Almost seems like a bit of a shame to end up repeating myself, but I know you all absolutely love it. So why don't we go through the whole lot, shall we? One more time. As the Ford F-Max gets on its inspection lap, it manages to, of course, power around the circuit in a beautiful fashion. This is just making sure that there's no debris, no oil and spillages or anything that could affect the racing. And, of course, add further delay to what is already a slightly delayed program today. But the truck in question that you see is the Ford F-Max, and it's the 2019 International Truck of the Year. It was designed and tested by over 500 Ford engineers, and the whole period was about 5 years. And they carried out testing in 11 countries, 4 continents, and there were over 200 prototypes involved in that. In total, there was over 15,500 hours of lab testing, and when they went to the road testing side of things, they tested it across more than 5 million kilometres. And straight away, as soon as it came onto the market, it was seen as a very strong competitor and a very user-friendly truck, which is one thing that Ford really maintain and focus on with their machinery. It's great to see it get put through its paces by Ralph Gregor, one of the wonderful people behind the scenes in this championship that I have the joy of sharing a lot of the time with. Admittedly, between us, a lot of the team had quite the laugh at my expense yesterday evening when the chair that I was sat on in the restaurant decided to completely destroy itself very suddenly, and I hit the deck. I was okay though. Not that they would have checked for laughing, because it was probably one of the funniest things that's happened in quite a while. Anyway, 3-minute board is up and in the air. So we get ever closer, and all the personnel are asked to leave the grid. And there goes Christina and Mike Fow. And here is our grid and our layout. Andre Kurz in pole position. Theo Calve alongside him on the front row. It's going to be very exciting to see these two go head-to-head once again. We then get Steffi Halm on the left-hand side with Jamie Anderson in 4th position. I like how this all works. This is well timed by Lewis as well, actually. Top-notch stuff. Jamie Anderson finishing 2nd in the Promoters' Cup, of course. Then we have Sasha Lenz alongside him. It's Antonio Alberthetti, a driver racing on home soil this weekend. He's been a very happy man all throughout. Adam Lachko next up alongside Norbert Kish, 2022 champion, winning his 4th crown. And the 2nd time he's done 2 on the bounce. Jose Rodriguez alongside John Newell, who got his 1st overall championship point in that earlier race. Very well done to John. Didn't quite get on the Promoters' Cup podium though, but still a very good effort all the same. Jonathan Andre and Shane Brereton are next up, and they will be fighting a little bit further down the order, but Shane has honestly still got severe engine issues that he's been mentioning, and now Lewis is told that he needs to get cracking and get off the grid, and he will go now and make his way down there again. But thank you to Lewis for his commitment to the cause, at least. He's going to get moving now, and we continue on with the grid. Heinrich Clemens-Hecker and Jochen Hahn, the next row, 13th and 14th. And based on what we saw, I do not think that we're going to get Stefan Faas starting in this final race of the day. I apologise if I have missed him, but I did not register that he was there a few moments ago. And again, I say it, we have the calm before the storm. Final personnel make their way off the grid. And once again, the wonderful Rolf Werner makes his way across. Final check of everything. And the entire championship has been decided on most parts, but we still have some great battles to keep our eyes on. Steffi Halm and Theo Calve for 7th overall in the championship standings. Now, what's interesting is drivers that are rated as Chrome drivers, i.e. the sort of AM of the championship's equivalent Pro and AM divisions. The Chrome drivers are all those that have finished outside of the top 7 from last year. Now, technically, if that rule still applies with the same number to it, at least, whether they've changed that to 6 or kept it at 7, Theo Calve and Jamie Anderson could both be classified as Titan drivers from next season. So we'll have to see as the green flag is waved and our bio-LNG-powered Iveco S-Way starts the formation lap here ahead of the 14 truck field. And there is a lot of excitement in the air here around this final race of the season. Everybody using up the final body panels and all sorts of these trucks, their final components, to make sure they are running at their very best. And Jochen Hahn will be using every bit of willpower to continue to move forward. Again, a very neutral and well thought out interview by Jochen Hahn. No scenarios in his mind. He's just going to take what happens and roll with it. He's not worried about certain positions that he gains and who he wants to overtake and when. He's just going to do the race and get on with it. And that is the Jochen way, as is. And fair play to him. You can hear the absolute fanfare as they come round Farina. They should probably nickname it that, the Farina fanfare, to be honest with you. As Frank continues to lead us round for one more time this season in 2022. I can't believe it's all coming to a close already, to be honest with you. It's been amazing. Once again, my second year with the championship, and I've enjoyed every single moment. Last year, I had to miss a couple of the specific rounds of the season just based on clashes with other commentary duties, but having the full championship effectively to myself this year has been an absolute joy. A good shout out to my good friend Jack Werrell as well, who is the backup commentator for the championship. And apologies at the same time, Jack, that you've not had to step to the fore this year. But we have a very beautiful field as they make their way around Portago. It's certainly a sight for sore eyes, isn't it? Lots of different colours and designs. All of them looking just as stunning as the last. You can see the scenery there in the background, the wonderful hills in the background of Madrid. We make our way back down past Bugatti. Long sweeping left into the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. You can see just how much rubber is laid down there on the racing line, and the Iveco throws a bit more down as well, but that's where one of the spillages was earlier on. You can see some of the cement dust that have been put down. Look, a little bit of it being kicked up there by Andrew Kurzim. That may be a focal point for later in the race. We have a look there inside Jamie Anderson's cab on the right. He's making some final adjustments ahead of the last race of the season. He was very happy with the progress he's made this year, considering how late they made the decision to enter the championship and get started at Misano. He's had one hell of a season. He may have just missed out on the Promoters' Cup, but based on the circumstances, him and his team have done a mighty job. So here we go then. Christina calls it the last dance. It certainly is going to be a dance. There's going to be plenty of manoeuvres being made here. Drivers proving a point to finish the season. And round 32 of 32 in the 2022 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship is underway, and everybody hops away. Nobody really fanning out too much yet. Jamie Anderson's got a fantastic run on Teo Calve. He goes to the right, then the left. He gives Teo a big old shove. You can see Jamie lurch forward in his seat, and he pushes Teo into the race lead. Now, unbelievably, the two Promoters' Cup rivals have worked together, but Jamie's not worked together. He's gone straight on. No! Oh, Jamie outbrakes himself. There's contact between Kurzim and Calve. Looks like Antonio Albertetti was off wide as well, but it's all come completely undone for Jamie Anderson. Just goes a little bit too hot into turn one, locks up the front right, and then it propels him even further into the gravel. There's a lot of bodywork missing on the front of Andrei Kurzim's truck. I'm not sure if he had another hit with Teo or something, but it's all fallen off pretty much straight away. But Teo Calve leads the race. Andrei Kurzim second position. And well, both of them have already won races here in the past. Like I said before, we're still on track to match last year's results, which was Norbert Kish winning the first one, then Andrei Kurzim, then Norbert Kish, and then again Teo Calve. We saw the bodywork there from what was left of Andrei Kurzim's machine, but look at this, Sasha Lenz right up there now, so he's in third position. That is 8 points in the championship as it stands. Jochen Hahn, I can't believe this, he's already up into 9th place from 14th on the grid, and we've not even finished the first lap. He's a man possessed as Sasha Lenz throws it up the inside of Andrei Kurzim. He needs to be careful though, because if he's making contact with people, he can either get a penalty or get damaged. He needs to be really careful about this one. He's still 4 points behind in the championship, so he's got it all to gain. Nothing to lose at the moment. He's round the outside of Kurzim as they go in towards Monza. Don't think he's going to have made that work. And there you've got Jochen Hahn behind his good friend Antonio Albertetti. He's now moved ahead of Rodriguez, so he's already up into 8th position now, is Jochen. Unbelievable progress. That's 2 points on the board already. But that means that Sasha Lenz would finish second in the championship by 2 points. He would outscore him by 6. And Antonio moves one way, then the other, as Jochen goes down the straight with him. But it's Theo Calvé leading the race. Then it's Andrei Kurzim, pretty much side by side with Sasha Lenz into turn 1. The two of them rub panels. Oh, there's a big hit, and Sasha's gone straight on. Sasha's gone straight on into the gravel, and that's going to be huge for the championship because he's going to drop positions. He runs over the bodywork of Andrei Kurzim. And there's only 2 places between himself and Jochen Hahn right now. Unbelievable stuff. It was just wheel-to-wheel contact. Flung Sasha out. And Andrei Kurzim, well, the team is Don't Touch Racing, but flipping heck, that Iveco, the state of it at the moment, certainly doesn't say don't touch at all, does it? It says welcome on in. Steffi Halm right behind, though, in 3rd position, ahead of Adam Lachko, then Norbert Kish. Sasha Lenz now down in 6th place with Jochen Hahn in 8th. So Jochen would score 3 points, Sasha would score 5, so Jochen would still finish second in the championship by 2 points. They're the tiny margins we're dealing with here. Sasha now needs to get a move on and hope that Antonio holds up Jochen that much that he can't make any further advances. And that incident, as we saw there, is under investigation. Wow, that was close between Adam Lachko and Steffi Halm, the two of them barely giving an inch. Adam wants to look down the inside. Steffi's locked up on the way into the hairpin. Norbert Kish is trying to not push his way through, but he's just trying to sort of lean on Adam a little bit and put the pressure on. But he's got the best seat in the house for this right now. He's going to have to think about what Sasha Lenz is doing behind him as well. Adam Lachko all over the back of Steffi Halm. The two of them have had some fantastic fights before. My first weekend ever commentating on the championship featured an intense battle between the two of them in one of the reverse grid races. Steffi gave as good as she got, as we say, but Theo Calvé, well, he's disappeared up the road. This is a hell of a race for him already. 2 laps in the book then, on to lap 3. You can see in the background, Jochen Hahn still behind Antonio Albertetti. Antonio holding on to 7th position for the time being. Steffi Halm is certainly, I hate the phrase, corking the bottle at the moment. He's got these 3 absolute titans of the championship, no pun intended, all absolutely queued up behind. Look at Adam. It's almost like she's towing Adam's truck around the circuit. It's that close to the back of the Iveco. We've got Iveco, Freightliner, then 2 MANs. And look at Norbert Kish on the brakes there. Tries to go around the outside. He tries to put Adam in a position where he can't use the entire width of the circuit to sort of block him out and stop him from coming by. This is excellent stuff, though. Andrei Kurzim's going to be happy that Steffi is holding them off as well, because he's going to have an easier ride on the way into 2nd position and more points in the championship for him as well. But I don't believe he can catch Theo Calvé in the standings, especially, well, the fact of it is Theo's ahead of him. Now, John Newell is currently in 3rd position in the Promoters' Cup battle, actually. Jose Rodriguez has dropped way down the order. He was a bit higher up before. And now John Newell finds himself in a Promoters' Cup podium position as Adam Lachko finds himself down the inside of Steffi Halm into the hairpins. Again, she gives as good as she gets. Contact on the exit of the corner. And Albertetti has been overtaken by Jochen Hahn, but in the meantime, he's actually lost a place to Jamie Anderson as well, which makes me think there may have been contact or some form of incident there, and the fans around the Spanish circuit will not like that. And Jochen Hahn would not like that either, as there was a very scary moment. Sorry, not Jochen Hahn, apologies. Adam Lachko wouldn't like that either. It was a very scary moment as he came across the front of Norbert Kish's truck there round the final corner. I'm sure Norby ducked out of it at the last moment. There was nearly contact between the two of them. And look at this quartet, absolutely glued together. They are literally pushing each other around turn 1. Lachko all over the back of Steffi Iveco. Slots in behind as they go through Varzy, the right-hander. And then hard onto the brakes again. And look at that, Norbert Kish again around the outside. This time he's a lot further alongside, but still doesn't get the overlap on the exit of the corner. Sasha Lenz is having to be very careful in this section of the circuit not to get too involved, because he could easily pick up some damage here. But it is Sasha Lenz 1 position now ahead of Jochen Hahn, which would give Jochen second place in the championship by 3 points. Still, these guys are all absolutely on it through there. Adam Lachko's truck's got a bit of bodywork coming off it, which was stuck on the front of Norbert Kish's truck. Luckily, it's gone away. Adam's still nibbling away at the back of the Iveco in front of him. I'm sure Steffi will be shouting "go away," but in other words that aren't broadcastable. Again, back down the hill there, providing us with lots of excitement in this final race of the season, showing us just what truck racing can be like. Plenty of contact, but at the end of the day, nobody's off the road. Everybody continues on. This isn't like open-wheeled racing where you make a tiny bit of contact and you're both out of the race. These trucks can really lean on each other, and the drivers will. And Adam Lachko looks down the inside of Steffi Halm into Monza. Still doesn't make it through. That penalty mark has seen better days, but I'm sure that is not the priority of the drivers right now. Back around the final corner we go once again. Still Norbert Kish behind Adam Lachko. Is there anything he can do? Sasha Lenz moves out to the right-hand side. Norby moves out to the left. And he stays right along that white line there. He's not got an overlap to Adam. You can tell by the shadows. Again, it's turn 1. It's all about just keeping it nice and tidy and nice and clean, as I always say, because we run on 100% renewable HVO diesel in this championship. And the racing is just as clean as the fuel that we use. As Norby looks down the inside of Lachko, there's nearly a touch. Norby had to really slam on the brakes there and straight line that one. That was quite the moment. He nearly would have spun Lachko around there. And look at that now behind them, Jochen Hahn all over the back of Sasha Lenz. That's all he needs to do. He just needs to sit there now, does Jochen, and he will get second in the championship from his countryman, Sasha Lenz. Amazing first lap though by Jochen, you have to say. Moving up to 8th position before the end of the lap. That is remarkable speed. Shane Burton and John Newell, they've raced against each other before. They're swapping places just at the edge of the top 10. Burton 10th at the moment, on for 1 championship point for finishing there, sorry. John Newell would get no points overall for where he is, but he would get 7 points in the Promoters' Cup. He wouldn't be on the podium anymore either, unfortunately. But still, it's another British driver that will be replacing him there, Shane Burton. And this attack on Steffi is absolutely relentless from Adam Lachko. But now Norbert Kish tries to come through as well. He's gone around the outside. There's contact on the exit of the corner. He says, get over there, sunshine. I need more space than that. He nearly touched through the last corner, but round the outside at Tunnel. That's amazing by Norbert Kish. And whoa, 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 big moment there as Adam Lachko moves Sasha Lenz over to the pit wall. Now, I don't think there was an overlap, so I think it was okay. Sasha still wanted to try and go past on the right-hand side, but that's scary stuff to play with when there's the end of a pit wall looming. Now, Lachko's down the inside of Norbert Kish. Fearing there's going to be contact there. I think there might have just been a slight touch as they now go side by side on the exit. Sasha is all over the back of the number 55 Freightliner as well. They go through the right-hander at Varzy. Norby is given enough room around the outside. And look at that, down the inside now. Sasha Lenz says, thank you very much. Adam doesn't want to give him the space. They're leaning on each other as they go through Le Mans, and now into the right-hander at Farina. More and more contact. Sasha's now back around the outside. Lachko hits the back of Kish, hits the side of Lenz, and then they bobble about off each other like a bunch of billiards, absolutely flying around all over the place. And Lachko loses momentum, and through goes Jochen Hahn. So Sasha Lenz, in the grand scheme of things, has not gained anything by overtaking Adam Lachko now. And that gives Steffi Halm a break for at least a couple of corners. There's still side by side in the background there, Jamie Anderson. Wow. Jamie Anderson trying it now to get past Adam Lachko as well. And I think Adam's got a problem. I think Adam's got a big problem with the front end after the contact that he's had. There's Jamie going up through the gears. And it'll be a real shame to see Adam's season end in DNF. But there was a lot of contact going on there and very feisty stuff. But Adam's still fighting it, you know. Him and Jamie were just side by side as they came into that shot there. We'll see if they just fly past us. And Jamie's now dropped back quite a bit from Mr. Lachko. The 2017 champion certainly knowing how to get his elbows out. Norbert Kish is going to try and get another podium. Make it 22 for this year out of the 32 races available. Side by side ish with Steffi Halm. Steffi's just going to put the truck in the middle of the road and defend it exactly as she should. Norby tries it around the outside, just doesn't keep the overlap, and now Sasha Lenz wants to try and take advantage of that as well, but he doesn't force the issue. He doesn't make it a big problem. Teo Calve the whole time is just disappearing off up the road. He's 6.2 seconds clear of Andre Kurzim, who's also a long way ahead of these lot. He's a good 5 and a bit seconds clear. And look at that, Sasha Lenz opportunistic down the inside of Norbert Kish. Can't complete it though because of the way that the circuit goes one way then the other. Very tough place to try and overtake. Jochen Hahn right in there as well. And Jochen just needs to survive the race now. He just needs to complete this one. As long as he does that in the position that he's in. And look at them still glued together. And still they remain line astern as they come out of Portago at the hairpin. Back down through Bugatti. To another hairpin. They like their hairpins at Jarama. And with good reason, it's a very, very good circuit for racing. But Norbert Kish continues this attack on Steffi Halm. And there is Andre Kurzim. Now, the bodywork is really rubbing on that right rear. Hopefully that doesn't cut the tyre down before the end of the race. There you see the gap. It almost looks like back markers there, that far apart. Teo Calve leads, Kurzim second. And then we've got almost 3 wide behind because Steffi Halm... Oh, the bodywork's just flown off Andre Kurzim's truck. We've got Steffi Halm trying to defend from Norbert Kish and then Sasha Lenz as well. Norby's going to try and go around the outside again. He's got more of an overlap this time now, so Steffi's going to have to give him the room on the exit. Or not. A little bit of rubbing there on the exit as they go around the right-hander, and now Sasha Lenz is looking down the inside and there's no overlap there for him. Norbert manages to stay in front. I spoke to Norby just before the race, actually, and he was saying that, you know, he's excited to see what the fight is like between Sasha and Jochen, but he was knowing that he's going to be right in the thick of it with all of them going on, and he was certainly not sure whether to enjoy that or be worried about that, but he's getting right into the thick of it yet again, as we would expect. And Steffi is just proving again how good she is at defending. We've seen some immense drives from Steffi in her time in the championship, and this is another one who really wants that final podium of the season. We're on lap 8 out of 12, 2/3 race distance completed, and we're about to go into that final third. Andre Kurzim no longer having any issues with bodywork, rubbing on the tyre or anything like that, so he's been able to continue at full pace. And this battle continues at full pace as well. Norby's just trying to set Steffi up for a manoeuvre here, and it's just not working, is it? He's just putting the truck in the right place at the right time. Norby tries to go down the inside. I think there might have been a little bit of a touch. Jochen Hahn even looking down the inside of Sasha Lenz there. Then you've got Adam Lachko and Jamie Anderson starting to join onto the back of this as well. We're going to have a sextet of trucks here. It's amazing to see them all line astern once again. Final race of the season, last day of school, and Jamie Anderson sideways around the final corner. This is pure entertainment. Everybody throwing everything at this race. Look at them all spreading out like that. It looks amazing as they come down the start-finish straight. No slipstreaming here. And there you see Jochen Hahn's team at the end of the pit lane. I imagine they're so nervous with everybody around them, not knowing exactly how everyone's going to behave themselves in these final few laps of the season. But still, Norby continues the chase. Jochen just gradually puts his nose down the inside there. Once again, we have an epic battle on our screens in the final race of the day. Sasha Lenz is around. He's gone backwards. He's completely spun it on the exit of the corner. I'm not sure if he got collected by anybody. I don't think he did. I don't even know if there was contact with Jochen Hahn, but it suddenly spat around. I think it was as he grabbed a gear. It jolted the rear wheels, and because of the camber of that corner there, it's almost like a big bowl as you go into Farina. And oh, Sasha Lenz, it has all come undone in the final race. There was a big opportunity for him to take second in the championship. And it looks like that left, this is, again, it's me speculating, but that left rear tyre looked very shiny on Sasha Lenz's truck. I'm not sure if there was some fluid or something that had got onto it, because obviously getting onto the power out of a right-hander like that, he would have really been leaning on that left rear. And that tyre looked particularly shiny on the rear of it. And Jochen Hahn there running deep as Adam Lachko then tries to attack him. So this battle is really split up now. We've got Norbert Kish attacking Steffi Halm, then Jochen Hahn and Adam Lachko. Meanwhile, Theo Calve is just in a complete different country to everybody else right now. Look at this, he's absolutely on his own. He's already at the first round of the 2023 season. He's that far ahead. Andrei Kurzim is behind by about 8.6 seconds. But Theo is showing everybody exactly why. If he gets up to be a Titan driver next season, this is why he should be up there. But to be honest, Steffi Halm is only 2 places behind him, which is only 2 points difference. So there would still be 1 point between Steffi Halm and Theo Calve in the overall standings in the favour of Steffi. However, if Norbert Kish gets past her like this before the end of the race, then they're going to be tied on points, and we're going to have to look back through results, and that's not something we were expecting to be doing. There's an overspeeding penalty there for Jose Rodriguez. He gets a 10-second penalty added to his overall time. Unfortunately for John Newell, not enough to promote him onto a podium. And you can see, look at that, there's definitely fluid or something down there, because Norbert Kish very sideways on the exit of Farina. Something definitely had gone wrong with Sasha's truck, because there is a lot of fluid around there. You can see them struggling for traction, but Sasha just went around so quickly. And honestly, I'll repeat the fact that I think that left rear tyre was very shiny indeed, so something had definitely spilled on it. Whether it was from him or another truck ahead of them, I'm not 100% sure. But the battles continue on. Norby seems to get a really good run there out of Portago. This could affect the championship standings if he gets past Steffi Halm. This is all very interesting. Now Norby dives to the right-hand side, tries to go around the outside at the hairpin. Can he make this work? If anyone can, it'll be Norbert Kish, but even he can't make that one a successful overtake. There's Theo Calve. And 3 to 5 working days later, we have Andrei Kurzim. And then a week after that, we have Steffi Halm and Norbert Kish. It's an amazing race, this final one. And Norby's around the outside now, going into the final corner. The two of them absolutely rubbing tyres. And oh, there is Sasha Lenz at the side of the road. It's all over. And Norby's off on the dust. Steffi's giving him as good as she gets, I tell you. She's a phenomenal defender, is Steffi Halm. Absolutely top-notch stuff. And they remain side by side right to the first corner. And Norby's going to try and go as late as he dares on the brakes. He's going to try and get as much of an overlap as possible, and it doesn't work. And I think Steffi's gone in a little bit deep. There is a bit of contact, door-to-door stuff. Jochen Hahn sees an advantage, and there's wheel-to-wheel contact, and Norby's off wide, and he comes back on, loses a place to Jochen Hahn, loses a place to Adam Lachko. He tried to hang it around the outside, and it just did not work for him. This is an incredible race. I mean, there may be a lot of contact, but it's not always the most untoward stuff. This is excellent entertainment. I'm sure everybody around the circuit will be loving this. I can only apologise to everybody else that has to share this media centre with me, because I'm making a right racket in one of the most echoey buildings in the world. Fantastic stuff so far, though. Jochen Hahn now moves up into 4th position behind effective teammate Steffi Helm. And we've only got 1 lap left after this. Steffi has held on really well now to a podium. Jochen Hahn just needs to finish this race in the position he's in now. And he will be 2nd in the overall standings when it comes to a close after this race. But he's got Adam Lachko and then Norbert Kisch right behind him. So we cannot rest for a single moment yet. But wow, you have to say one of the real highlights and real stars of this race is Steffi Helm. She's defended so well so far, and she's got 1 more lap to do it. And I feel that in a bit of a strange way, Jochen Hahn would be the man here to just hold back from attacking Steffi on this one. He'll say, you have the podium. I've got what I need for 2nd in the championship. And what Steffi was saying before about not being able to do anything to help Jochen, well, even now she can't. But to be honest, as long as she doesn't back him up into the trucks behind, it is all good. And to be fair, Jochen just needs to finish. You can see what's left of Adam Lachko's truck on the right-hand side. Looks like the front right wheel is particularly taking quite a nasty hit. They go into turn 1, onto the final lap of the race. And thanks again to Sean at Sensata Smart Witness. He sat with me, showing me the footage of Sasha Lenz going around, and something very suddenly definitely broke on the back. There was fluid everywhere, all over the back end of the truck. It's a massive shame for Sasha for something like that to let him down in the last moments. But Teo Calve, well, he's over 10 seconds clear now. And then Andre Kurzim's nearly 9 seconds clear. He's over 9 seconds clear of Steffi Helm and this rabble behind her. It's the only way it can be described, isn't it? Jamie Anderson still in there as well, 2nd in the Promoters' Cup at the moment during this race. Shane Brayton on for a Promoters' Cup podium to complete his entry in the championship. It is Shane's last race with us here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and we will miss him from the series a lot. He's a really top bloke, is Shane, and his team are wonderful as well. Not sure whether they will stay on and potentially have another driver or what the situation is, but of course we hope to see all of them back in the paddock at some point in whichever capacity that may be. Now Jochen Hahn moves over to the right-hand side there as Sasha Lenz's truck is still by the side of the road. Lachko has to dab the brakes to make sure it doesn't go into the back of him, because he actually had a much shorter line than Jochen. But way up at the front of the field, we're going to get a repeat of the 2021 winners here at Jarama. Now that's not something that you're going to see very often, is it? A repeat of the winners from last season. Teo Calve takes the victory. That's his 3rd win in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and what an amazing way to cap out a season. Unbelievable stuff. Calve wins. Andre Kurzim finishes in 2nd position. Well, I speculated before, and it came true. Steffi Helm gets a podium. Absolutely awesome driving by Steffi there. Boy, it got feisty behind as well. But Jochen Hahn loses out to Lachko at the line. Adam Lachko beats Jochen Hahn to 4th position. But Jochen Hahn still has enough to finish 2nd in the championship outright. Norbert Kisch behind is the 2022 overall champion. Jamie Anderson finishes 2nd in the Promoters' Cup. But boy, look at the front of Lachko's truck. It's like something out of Wreckfest. Absolutely decimated. Jochen lights up the rears. A bit of entertainment and a bit of drifting for the fans. But boy, Teo Calve is going to be a very, very happy young man right now. And I still cannot get over the repeat of the results. So in 2021 and 2022, we've had the same race winners in the same races. 2 years on the trot here at Jarama. That is remarkable. Norbert Kisch winning race 1, Andre Kurzim race 2, Norbert Kisch race 3, and Teo Calve winning race 4. Can you believe that? Almost a year on from where Teo won his first race here. He goes and does it again as Andre Kurzim does one hell of a burnout out of Farina. Fantastic stuff. Again, what's left of that Iveco anyway? There's not much left of it, is there? Hats off to Shane Brereton as well, by the way. He gets a podium in the Promoters' Cup. And Sasha Lenz, well, he will be a very unhappy boy after that one. And here is Antonio Alberthetti doing some donuts for his wonderful fans down there. He's had to pop it onto the grass, but I'm sure he's going to just... There you go. Let's let Antonio do his thing, shall we? This is a hell of a moment to witness. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It really is a big party here in Spain. And such a gentleman like Antonio is really bringing the party to them as well, isn't he? More donuts being done there as well, and we can't even tell who that is. Is that Norbert Kish? No, it's Heinrich Clemens-Hecker. I just saw the red roof. But Heinrich is absolutely decimating those rear tyres, and there's rubber down everywhere. John Newell doesn't know where to go. He's trying to back out of it to make sure he doesn't get hit by Heinrich. Looks like Clemens is trying to drift around him. Oh, unbelievable showmanship by all these guys, and the fans are loving every moment of it. Excellent stuff. What a great way and a great vibe to round out the season with. An amazingly entertaining final race. Even John Newell lights it up as well. Wow, oh wow. And there you go, there's John drifting it up the hill. And Teo Calve has already made it back into the pit lane to come and celebrate with his team. That's his third ever win in the championship. He's had 2 in as many race meetings. And it was here in 2021 where he got the very first of them as well. And there he is. There's trucks spread about all over the circuit at the moment, to be honest with you. But Teo Calve makes it into Parc Ferme. And wow, this is going to be one hell of a celebration tonight for him. I can tell you that for free. And I think what we're going to hear behind them is the horn on Andrei Kurzim's truck that they installed recently, as he's going to sort of celebrate his whoa. Teo scares the life out of Steffi Helm there by very suddenly opening the door as she pulls into Parc Ferme. But there he is. He's sprayed with champagne already. What a boy, Teo Calve. What a season. Now, isn't that a moment? Look at that. They've lifted him completely over the barriers. Epic stuff. He's going to have a right headache just now, never mind later on. But that was an immense drive, absolutely immense drive by Teo Calve, winning the race by over 11 seconds to Andrei Kurzim. And the Bagheera chants get absolutely ringing in everybody's ears. Look at this. Don't you just love it? Brings a massive smile to my face, and I'm sure you can probably hear it as well. It's just excellent. Steffi Helm giving out the congratulations and the hugs in the background as well. And let's give a hand as well to Andrei Kurzim. Fantastic second place for him. A really solid end to the season. And that, of course, the Don't Touch Racing team. All his team there that were congratulating Teo on that excellent race victory. There's Richard Keimberger taking pictures for the team. And here is our onboard with Lewis Cam as he joins Steffi Helm in Parc Ferme. Steffi rounds out another impressive season with plenty of podiums on the board. And some more solid, strong points finishes. There is Judith Ehrman. Who's going to hand over her congratulations as well in her final race in the championship. There's not really any more words, to be honest with you. Excellent vibe, absolutely excellent vibe. One truck family mantra that we all share, that we just come out with randomly. It's honestly a very amazing vibe here. And Teo Calve, well, he's going to show us one hell of a vibe now as he speaks to Christina.
Race where they're celebrating Steffi Helm here in the back, also great achievement. You swapped champagne to water right now for the interview, but I think it's great. How did you celebrate right now with a team and family?
Yeah, it's so nice. It's so nice to win the last race of the season. And for the team, it's just to thank you for all the work this season, all the job done. It was a really hard season, but everybody did the job. We did everything we could, and look, we finished by a victory. So it's really, really nice. I'm really happy.
Yes, and the truck is almost in one piece over here. So what a hell of a season it was for you. We'd already talked about you're evolving, but right now enjoying this last race, keeping out of trouble. You did well.
Yeah, of course. I think it's one of my best races in my life. I did a really good start. I was first in the first corner, and then I did my race. I never stopped going, and I was fast, and it works, and I won this, and I'm really happy.
Thank you very much, Theo Cavé.
Thank you.
Félicitations. Let's go directly see where Steffi Harm is. Let's have a look. She's hiding.
Hiding away somewhere. We'll see Jamie Anderson and his team. And we'll see if we can grab another interview. See who else is around for Christina to have a chat with. Oh, there you go. We have got Steffi Harm.
Yeah, what a great achievement, ending on the podium in this season. You heard your team celebrating and shouting your name. How was the race?
The race was very difficult, At the start, I saw that Theo was in front. So for me, it was sure that if he don't make any mistake and don't lose the first place, I have to be third. And this was a really, really hard way to finish third. But now I'm really happy for all of us, for the whole team, for the partners, for sponsors. It's great to finish in the last race on the podium.
It was you and Adam Lechko again, a great battling, and then it was you, Norbert Kirsch, the great rat giant at the behind you. How did you manage to keep your line and keep focusing on your line?
Yeah, I just tried to concentrate it, and I didn't go my line. I sometimes tried the inside line because I knew that he's much faster on the brake or better on the brake, and so the only chance I got was to stay on the inside, and hopefully in the acceleration I had enough power to stay in front. We had some little contact, and he went off track. Then I think Jochen was behind me, and I knew that he will not push too hard because for him the second place was clear. So congratulations, it's great. And for me, he knew that I need a third place to be on 7 overall.
And now celebrate with your team, Judith Ehrmann. It was the last race for your chief mechanic too. A lot to celebrate.
Yeah, for sure we will celebrate today, and I hope this was a nice present for Judith to go.
Absolutely was. Thank you very much. For Judith, it was a present, also much more even present. Let's be staying live here for Jochen Hahn. No time for a break, I would call it. Jochen Hahn, vice champion this season. Congratulations. You did manage really well. I've got a little bit some notes over here. You went up to 8 after the first lap. Let's get through this movie. How did you manage?
It's what I say before the start. You cannot say I will do it like this or this. You must do something in this moment. In the first race, it's a wrong decision what I do. But in the second race, every decision was good. So and I go very fast forward.
And lap 5, Sasha overtook Adam Lechko, but you came through also. Was that one of those moments where you saw the opportunity for you?
Yes, in this moment I start to calculate the points, and I think, okay, no stress now. I look only, for Jamie in the back. And then the race, it is like it is. So it's something a little bit, I think the engine is broken from Sasha or something like this. And I see it, and I will not win with the engine broken from Sasha at the second place. But we handle it. I'm very happy. I'm very proud also for Iveco and the complete team. Happy, second, done.
So you said in round number 8, Sasha Lenz spun around. As you said, you saw that directly, or was it just over the intercom that you heard about it?
No. One lap earlier, I see the water, it's coming up, and I look, maybe it's possible. But what I say, I don't wish him the situation, and he have a spin, and I'm go careful around him. So all done, happy.
This is the last race, vice champion, lots to celebrate. And what is the future perspective for you? What can we expect next season from you?
And the last time when I'm second, the year later I'm the champion. So from this side, it's a good omen. So yeah, we look forward, and also for the sustainability, we look forward and have some projects. And yeah, I'm very proud to stay here with all my friends and my family, and I'm very happy.
It's going to be a big party. Jochen Hahn, ladies and gentlemen, Vice Champion. Thank you very much. So, and since I said Vice Champion, let's have a closer look at all the standings.
Yes, indeed. For the final time this season, then we look at the championship results. After, of course, the race results, then we get Theo Calvé at the top once more. Amazing drive from the young Frenchman. André Kurzim and Steffi Halm, all very deserving podium finishers as well. They all worked their socks off this weekend, and it's been great to see. Adam Lachko steals fourth place at the line over Jochen Hahn, only a few thousandths in it. Norbert Kish finishes the season with a sixth place result. Jamie Anderson second in the Promoters' Cup in that race with Antonio Alberthetti in eighth. Shane Brereton gets a podium, and Jonathan Andre gets an overall 10th spot. That really went under the radar, that one. Apologies, Jonathan. Jose Rodriguez finishes 11th ahead of Heinrich Clemens Hecker. John Newell finishes his final race of the season in 13th. Sascha Lenz was classified 14th, but unfortunately 4 laps down after that failure. It's a massive shame to see that happen to Sascha. And just to add salt in the wound, it's actually been, the maths has been done, and actually Bagheera Zedem Racing have secured third in the teams championship as well over Team Lowenpower, which is Sascha Lenz and Shane Brereton. So unfortunately for Sascha, it went from bad to worse in the teams championship as well, I'm afraid. Not the end of the season that he would like to remember. And of course, it'll be difficult to come back from that in another season. But these drivers are tough. They're very, very strong-minded. And we look forward to seeing how he goes forward. Steffi Halm makes her way out to the podium. Third place, a great way to finish the season for Steffi. Second place going the way of André Kurzim. Another Iveco on the podium. I think this must be... Well, I'm trying to think now. This will be the first time in a while we've not had an MAN on the podium, actually. I'll have to scan back through the results for that one. But Theo Calvé, top step of the podium once again. His third ever win in the championship. And this young man is just getting better and better. Interestingly for everybody else, though, I don't think he's going to be rated as a Titan driver next season. I'll have to confirm that and look back through results and figures and so on. Steffi Halm receives her trophy for third place. Everybody gets a handshake. And then we get André Kurzim. He gets his trophy as well for Don't Touch Racing, not No Touch Racing. He's a very happy boy. He's had a great weekend. And then Theo Calvé receives the first place trophy for the 32nd and final round of the championship here at Jarama. Almost 1 year on from when he took his first win, he does it again. And now we're going to get the national anthem of France for Theo Calvé. And there you go, the French national anthem rings out over Jarama for Theo Calvé after a fantastic performance in that race. Like I said, over 11 seconds in the end that he won the race by. Epic advantage indeed. Now we get some pictures taken on the top step of the podium. And it seems like the podium announcer, I'm not sure if you can quite hear him, but he's picked up on the statistic as well that we've had the same 4 winners over the weekend in each of the races. which is just, again, I can't get over that. Now they're going to change hats before they then spray the champagne for the final time this year, for an overall podium at least. And here we go then. Who's going to get drenched? Probably all three of them, to be honest with you. It's not going to be much of a competition, is it? There you go. Sophie and Teo both end up absolutely drenched. Andre stayed out of that one quite well, to be honest with you. Top stuff by all of them. Great entertainment as well. These drivers can still be entertaining, even on a podium when they're spraying champagne at each other. There is Dominic Wilhelms. He'll now go and take the trophies back out.
Now we go, time for the final race of the Promoters Cup. We change the flags, we prepare all in the podium, and we go ahead. El tiempo ahora para el podio del Promoters Cup.
And there is Shane Brereton, Leo Calvé. Just going to have a quick look at the championship standings outright before they make their way over to the podium. Norbert Kish, 410 points. What an amazing tally. Over 100 points clear of anybody else by the end of the season. That is just remarkable. Jochen Hahn finishes second on 295 points, 10 clear of Sasha Lenz, ahead of Adam Lachko. And Antonio Albertetti finishes the season in 5th place. James Burton is now 3rd on the podium, with Jamie Anderson 2nd. And once again, Teo Calvé on the top step. It is the 4th time this weekend he stood on the top step of the podium. He's had 3 Promoters Cup wins, an overall race win as well. And just doing the maths, it's the 6th time this weekend he's been on the podium. He's been on each podium in the Promoters Cup, 3 wins and a 2nd place. And then, of course, the overall win here in race 4, and he finished 2nd in race 2. What a weekend for Teo Calvé, and what a great way to round out his season. The confidence will be through the roof going into 2023. The trophies and handshakes are all given out amongst the 3 of them. And they can now celebrate once again in the form of, well, once again in the case of Teo Calvé, I should say. Teo and Jamie still continuing to discuss things on the podium, but as you see, you know, great rivals all year, but they still have a laugh and they are still very communicative with each other, and they have great respect between the pair of them. And yeah, as the presenter has rightly pointed out, these 3 are actually 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the Promoters Cup as well, for the whole season, so it's quite a fitting way to round it all out, actually. And now we get the national anthem of France once again. And there we go. They cut that one short, I think, because they realised they've already heard it. But still, very well done. Felicitación indeed for Teo Calvé. And 3 of the absolute stars of the Promoters Cup, 1st, 2nd and 3rd this year, finished the final race of the season, 1st, 2nd and 3rd as well. Very fitting indeed, it must be said. And here we go then. Champagne time once more for Teo. Either he or Lewis is going to get drenched here because Jamie Anderson's on the podium. And there you go, Shane and Jamie give Teo a right champagne shower. It's all in great fun, isn't it? It is all in great fun. three guys that over the course of the season have respected each other massively. You know, they have their competitive fallouts and so on and their competitive moments, but that's just racing at the end of the day. It's going to happen. But still, at the end of the season, we come to it with a very positive vibe and three drivers that all respect each other massively on and off the circuit now. It's awesome to see. Now, the members of the individual teams will make their way out onto the podium. But we will have a look now at the championship standings just once more to recap. So we had Antonio Albertetti in 5th position. Jamie Anderson finishes the season in 6th and should be rated as a Titan driver next year. Steffi Halm just holds on by 1 point over Teo Calve for 7th overall. What a great little bit of intense battling they had towards the end of the season. Andre Kurzim rounds it out in 9th place. And then there's quite the gap back to Shane Brereton in 10th, but a top 10 in his final season in the championship is a good run all the same. Lucas Hahn finishes 11th ahead of Stefan Faas. Jose Rodriguez 13th. The late Anthony Janiek remains on the board in 14th position ahead of René Reiner, Heinrich Clemens-Hecker, Martin Gibson, Jonathan Andre and Thomas Robineau. And now as the quiet falls over the circuit, we look at the Promoters' Cup standing. And we have Teo Calve on top by 18 points come the end of the season. And he's been an absolute phenomenon to watch this year. So too has the rise of Jamie Anderson. It's been awesome to see Jamie progress in the way that he has, and the two of them were fighting so hard all season to get that top spot. Shane Brereton completes the top 3, and then we have Stefan Faas 8 points clear of Jose Rodriguez. Heinrich Clemens-Hecker finishes the season in 6th ahead of Lucas Hahn, Jonathan Andre. John Newell finishes 9th on 46 points ahead of number 77, Martin Gibson, after he completed some races for Reiner Racing. Completing the Promoters' Cup once and for all, we have Thomas Robineau, Louis Requenco, Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, Emma Mäkinen, Stefan Kirsch, and Erwin Klein-Nagelvoort. But well done to Teo Calve, well done to Norbert Kish, 2022 champion. It seems like a long time ago now that we found out that Norby was going to be the champion. And now the fans still stick around. There's a bit more racing action to come here from Jarama. But that was the final race of the year in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. I still can't believe how quickly the season has flown by. It only feels like 10 minutes since we were in the searing heat at Misano, where drivers and teams all struggled to cope with it. And hopefully the heat isn't too much to bear down there for Christina, who has an interview lined up for us.
Yes, and we do say bienvenidos Carmelo Sanstebaros. He's the FIA president of the Senate. Good to see you here. Of course, you know everything so well, every straw, of course. But to be back on the podium for you, is it special?
Oh, yes, this is very special. At the end, this is my country. And the track races is always, we've been doing that for 37 years without stopping. And this is a very special weekend for Spain, you know.
We do see 2 technologies, sustainable technologies on the grid, the HVO biofuel and, of course, the Bio LNG-powered pace truck. So how open is the FIA for those sustainable future projects?
I think that FIA is not only open, we are planning to lead this transition. As you know, the compromise from FIA is to have all the competitions being clean on 2026, and we are working on it. This is an honor for us to have had the track championship, the European track championship. Is already all the tracks that have been competing today are either using biofuel or HVO, whatever, and this is 100% clean. Unfortunately, the Spanish championship is not yet there, but we've been working and together, FIA and the pilots of the Spanish championship, and we are going to prepare a plan to be able to deliver the same that in the European Championship, if possible in 2023, a complete clean championship as well. Yeah, it's more than a compromise. We are trying to lead that. I think that a federation like FIA, which is so much linked to the automobile industry, has to do it. As you know, we are not only a federation for the competition, we are also a federation in the area of the mobility, and then mobility worldwide. We have, in the case of Germany, one of the largest, the ADAC club, which is also our member, and we all together need to work in that direction, and this is what we are ready to do. And for sure, you can count 100% compromise from FIA on that.
That sounds great to me, and also we do compromise a lot. This championship has got a really, really high level. So when you're back at the headquarters of the FIA, what do you tell people about the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship?
Okay, I will try that the FIA staff that is being here today tell what they have seen, because if I tell it, probably they consider that this is because I'm a Spaniard, but definitely I think that it's been a great championship. I think that the organization, the staff, the fans, I think that everything is been functioning perfectly. Of course, the FIA staff and all the stewards, so all the people involved in the race as well, and I cannot have a complaint. And on top of that, we have this Spanish weather, which has been a fantastic weekend. Then I cannot say any negative thing. We've been lucky.
We neither. Thank you very much for that. We could be guests here. We will be well received. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you, and I hope that ETRA continue to support the championship, that I think they have a very nice future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
And now we're going to have a look at the highlights of the final race of this race meeting here, the final and the last dance, race number 4.
It's quite remarkable that it's come around already, but the last race of the season certainly had a lot of drama. Jamie Anderson going straight on at turn 1 right at the start after pushing Théo Calvé into the lead down the straight, meant that the Frenchman could just disappear off up the road, while André Kurzim had to start defending from his countryman Sacha Lenz. Sacha would have quite a bit of contact with him in the opening stages, and then another bit into the first corner, and then he would drop down the order behind the likes of Steffi Helm and, of course, Adam Latchko and Norbert Kish. And then Jochen Hahn came creeping up behind them while the battles raged on at the front. Steffi defended so well from Latchko and everybody else. It was a scary moment as Sacha nearly headed towards the pit wall. There was bodywork flying and pieces absolutely everywhere, but Steffi held firm, and what a fantastic defence it was, lap after lap. More contact between Adam Latchko and Sacha Lenz, while André Kurzim had a scare with some bodywork rubbing against the tyre. It was then Norbert Kish's go to have a go at Steffi Helm, but after a huge failure on the rear of Sacha Lenz's truck, he was around and out of the race, which meant Jochen Hahn could go on and take second in the championship. He took 4th in the race behind Steffi Helm, but Théo Calvé, the Promoters Cup for 2022 champion, absolutely decimated the field, and what a wonderful result it was. And that is, unfortunately, the end for me here in the 2022 Goodyear FIA European Truck Championship. It's been an absolute joy this year once again, and honestly, I hope you've all enjoyed listening to the commentary. I've really enjoyed doing it, and hopefully you'll hear me again in 2023. But that's me, Chaz Draycott, signing off for this year. I'll hand back down to Christina for one more final word. I'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much, Chaz and Ibi. Thank you very much, Chaz and Ibi. It's been a great pleasure working with you guys. We do see the champion of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship season 2022. And Mr. Davis, good to be back. See you back. You need to translate. Of course, I think you're very happy with Norbert Kish after the season.
Mondjad, hogy nagyon-nagyon boldog vagyok, meg büszke vagyok a Norbira, a csapatra, úgyhogy jövőre is jövünk.
Yes, he said that he's very, very happy and very proud of the team and the result we achieved, so that we will come next year as well.
That sounds good. We have future plans for next year, again with this guy.
Hogy a jövőbeli terveink akkor közösek is velem és tovább együtt.
Természetesen Normival, egy csapattal, meg megpróbálunk még egy kamionnal többel jönni.
Yes, he said that, of course, with me, and we also try to develop the team so that maybe we bring one more racetrack next year. But it's still yet to decide. It's a lot of work.
És mondjad, hogy én leszek a második pilóta.
And maybe he will drive the second racetrack himself.
That would be nice. Thank you, Mr. Revish. But now we continue the interview with the champion. Thank you very much. I know it's been a bit weird for you, Norbert, to translate what Mr. Reves said about you personally, but let's wrap it up this season. You're the season champion, crowned in. I'm thinking about still. He got me, but I don't know. Maybe next season.
I'm watching out. Yes, what was the question? Sorry. I don't remember the question. Yes, so it was very nice season. We did really well. I am very proud of the team and the results because no matter which race circuit we went, we did really well. And we could have had all the pole position, if not the smoking issue in the Nürburgring, which I still think it was, a little bit, but okay. So, I am really proud of these results because, it's kind of a record-breaking season, and I think the team and everybody can be really, really proud of this. And yes, a big thank you for all of the members of the Railways team because I think it's not happening often. When a new team is formed like that and we become successful in such a short time. So yeah, I think we can be really proud. So yeah, I am really proud.
Thank you very much. Our champion, Norbert Kish. Celebrate tonight. We see you then. He still thinks that I'm doing a revenge, but no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just going out of the picture. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure presenting here for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We had so much fun throughout the season, and we are really looking forward for the future season 2023. Thanks to all the team behind the cameras. You've seen a lot of perspectives, some onboard perspectives, some drone shots, and everyone tried their best to giving you the best pictures possible. Thanks to our team back at Neumarkt, thanks to the ETRA organizing all of it. And thank you very much for tuning in and watching us. Please tell your friends. This is huge fun watching the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. And from Spain, under the Spanish sun, we say hasta luego.